Hello, this is Greg Clevin, host and moderator of this week's Sun Sports Show, featuring Nick Clark and John Sherman. And this segment's topic will be the Division I signings. I cover Bloomington, and one of our top multi-sport athletes for the last 4 years, in fact, Moses Alapate, 6'5", 240-pound quarterback.
Yeah.
You'd think it's more of a, could be an offensive lineman or tight end. I personally think that maybe I project him as a tight end down the road. But you know what? Any guy that big, and now the quarterbacks you watch at all the big programs around the country, Tebow and all these guys, they're 6'5", they're 235, 240. They're all big guys, tough people to bring them down. Roethlisberger in the Super Bowl, another guy, where did he come out of the MAC?
Yeah, Miami of Ohio.
Yeah, Miami of Ohio. But it seems like we've got all these 6'5", 230 to 240-pound quarterbacks.
Yeah, it's interesting. Whenever you hear people talk about Moses and they talk, quarterback, you hear the words pro-style quarterback thrown in front of it.
Right.
And, with the switch the university, the Gophers are making in their offense, going, getting away from the spread now and going back to more traditional format, that might be something that suits them. Who knows, and the Gophers have the other guy, DeMarcus Gray coming in, who missed last year with some academic issues, but he's cleared to go, and I guess everything's good on that aspect. So they might have some interesting battles going on that quarterback.
I tell you what, Alapate in defense of Moses, the first couple of years they had not the best offensive line. He was hit so many times in some of those games, but he showed me the heart of a fighter. Somebody that picks himself up at off the canvas and just keeps coming at people. He's not the fastest quarterback, but he's got that agility, which makes him a good basketball player. He's been one of the top big men in the Lake Conference this year in basketball, but he's got that footwork and stuff, and I wouldn't be surprised, and with the good hands, that if quarterback didn't work out for him, I could foresee him being maybe a tight end because he's good around the ball. I think with the size and stuff, he'd be able to pick up the blocking. He'd rather hit people, I think, than be hit like he has. But you know what? You can't when given time, he can wing the ball pretty good.
Well, yeah, and you see, it's a tough comparison to draw, but you brought up Ben Roethlisberger, and he's not exactly fast, but he dances around okay back there. He eludes some tacklers, and like you said, when he needs to, he can zip the ball and he can hit his spot. I think what'll be important for Moses is obviously the step from the Lake Conference to the Big Ten is a big one. We'll see how he handles it mentally, and if his mind is as fast as the rest of his body and catching up to the speed of college football.
What about his size, Greg? He's 230, 235 now.
Looks almost closer to 240.
Could we be seeing a 280-pound quarterback, and could we see that quarterback actually sacking the defensive ends?
He reminds me a little of Dante Culpepper, that size. But I tell you what, Moses is a load. I remember they played Bloomington Kennedy this fall, and the Kennedy coach was just lamenting the fact that we had him down almost 2-3 times. He says, but I told the guys, one guy isn't going to haul him down, and maybe two won't.
Yeah.
We need 3 to bring that guy down. He just doesn't go down. He's pretty strong, so it'll be interesting to see how he fits in. One thing I've always said, some of these kids go to college, they sign their tenders, and they got a preconceived notion of, I'm going to be a Big Ten quarterback or this and that. I try to tell some of these kids, go in with an open mind that if you want to play, you might get your bones in the special teams. All of a sudden, there's a need for you to be a tight end. If you get a chance to play. Go for it and stuff. But you hate to take a kid's dream away, and that Moses wants to be a Big Ten quarterback, but whether he can do it. You mentioned Holy Angels. They do have a couple of players, a wide receiver, and I don't know if I've got the pronunciation right.
Give it a shot.
Sar Nakia, and he's a wide receiver. And they also had another wide receiver, I believe it was J.J. Swain, out of Holy Angels, and guess where he's going? Northern Iowa. It seems like. And let's see.
Yeah, and Apple Valley's.
Nakia's going to Air Force,
yeah,
by the way.
Apple Valley's Vonnie Sony is going to Northern Iowa. And we should have mentioned Bryce McNeil, too, the excellent wide receiver from Breck, who originally committed to Michigan, then decommitted and took a bunch of visits. I know Oregon was really high on his list. And the Gophers were in the picture, but he decided to go to Clemson, which I think is an interesting place for a Minnesota kid to end up. And I talked to his wide receivers coach, Marcus Harris, who's the old head coach at Brooklyn Center High School, and college star at Wyoming, Blitnikoff Award winner in his day. And Marcus was telling me that when Bryce wants to, he's as good as any wide receiver he's ever seen. When he wants to turn it on, he catches everything that goes his way as well. And I think we'll be talking about Bryce for years to come too.
Maybe another Fitzgerald.
Yeah, he could be. Could be.
There's the Eden Prairie athlete, Corey Frazier, who will be going to Rice, cornerback and stuff, and probably a good fit for him. I know the Gophers were trying to get a hold of him, but these guys that go to you got Marcus Binns at Cretin, Durham Hall running back, North Dakota. I can't believe North Dakota State are doing it, but there's so many other athletes that sign. If you check our Sun newspapers this week, you'll or our website mnsun.com, you'll be able to pick up on the signings and stuff. So it'll just be fun to watch some of these guys go on and see what they could do.